Hello guys, this is Shockwave King. Yes, I'm back here again. It's your time to reveal, yes. Now, not sure, previously I was wrong. I admit that. I'll take my flaws where they are. Alright. I once proclaimed that Blackbeard would be showing up to Reverie, and you see that Blackbeard, he never did make it. But, another interesting dilemma have showed up instead. Because why does Blackbeard to go to Reverie now? Anytime ever before. Now the thing is, what is the current day scenario for the whole Reverie? Reverie is over. Garp was able to get Sir Hoshi and King Neptune to safety. Sabo is missing, and some type of event happened with Sabo and the others. And Koala and Dragon is worried. Now I don't believe that Sabo is dead. I don't think he's dead at all. Pretty sure he's alive, hiding out somewhere. But I do believe one key person who is dead is Kuma. Kuma, he gone. He dead. He ain't killed me. The reason why is something had to happen with Sabo to make him fly off the handle, and the only thing that could have made him set him off like that is something bad happened to Kuma, and that's pretty much it. As far as I know, there are not too many scenarios that will cause our boy Sabo to lose his mind like that. But if Kuma was to die, right? Well, he finally malfunctioning, or since he was a prototype, that he finally kicked the bucket because cybernetics or whatever, or directly because of Celestial Dragon. I do believe if that was the case to happen, that Sabo would kill a Celestial Dragon. That's no doubt about it. It's not like he wouldn't. It's not like there's some type of morale here like he just wouldn't murder a Celestial Dragon. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I believe that Kuma is dead. He's gone. So if he is dead, what would Blackbeard have any interest of picking up any leftovers? Because sure, he could be picking up and going around to pick up any leftovers warlords, but really, what do we have? We have Boa, we have Mihawk, we have Weeble that no one cares about, and we have Buggy. That's not really a crew. That's nothing to 10 Titanic. The funny thing with the whole 10 Titanic camp is that there's only been one ship called the Titanic, which we all know about. Well, if you don't know about, and that Titanic sunk. So it could be a sick, twisted form of irony that the 10 Titanic captains were all sink and drown together. A part of Blackbeard's crew. Who knows? But I do believe that there's been somebody on the Blackbeard's crew who had no abilities. A person who's basically pretty much beat up on and one-shotted by Sabo. A person who's been needing to upgrade ever since. The right-hand man, the Yonko commander above Yonko commanders, Jesus, God Almighty Burgess. Yes, in my personal opinion, Kuma's dead and Blackbeard is showing up to collect the fruit. There's not too many options for Blackbeard, and sure, Blackbeard can do pretty much anything. And no, I don't think Blackbeard's some type of he's some type of all-star genius, or anything that happened he has a plan for. Why would you think that? Just honestly. Remember, it took Blackbeard 20 years. 20. No, more than 20. More than 20. Yeah, more than 20 years. About, what, 26, 24, but 20 years for Blackbeard to look for one singular fruit. And it seemed like that's one of the main key reasons he wanted to join the Blackbeard Pirates in the first place. I don't think it's more. I think it's more than like 20. Yeah, it's 26 years. 26 years. He only killed Thatch when he was like 38. So if that was the case, 26 years later, after focusing on trying. And one, at what point did Blackbeard obtain a Devil Fruit Encyclopedia? Because to a certain degree, I don't believe. I don't believe that it's the dark fruit that caused Blackbeard to be able to take Devil Fruits like that. Then there's gonna be some type of other thing to it. And I don't think that most people, they don't think that the Yami no Mi is a direct cause to be able to take fruits either. Well, we'll be able to use two different fruits at the same time. I do believe he'll get one last fruit, but it won't be like the other fruits. It was just because of massive regeneration, and I do believe Mark's gonna die. I mean, he dead because Mark has no other purpose in the story, and he's willing to die. But back to the whole key point here. All right, there's only key point. Jesus Burgess needed fruit. All right, he needs one. All right? If he does not obtain the fruit, how could he be Blackbeard's right hand man? But it's sure the rain. How? Jesus. Now we don't know who was recruited first to the Blackbeard Pirates, but we do know to a certain degree that the Blackbeard and Jesus Burgess does have a close relationship. And if Jesus Burgess is the first, in my opinion, it would be surprising, but it's just on any or everybody. We can argue that the fire fruit is one of the strongest fruits in One Piece in general. I'm not gonna say it's like a top 10 contender, but it's pretty strong fruit if you know what you're doing with it. And if that's the case, then why not give it to your right-hand commander, Jesus Burgess? Now, sure, ever since that Sabo beating, that everybody see Jesus Burgess somebody who's extremely weak compared to everybody else. Sure, but then again, he took a full sonic shockwave from Sengoku and got back up like it was nothing. So it's just, I'm not saying he's a broken powerhouse machine. All I'm saying is that Jesus Burgess is not as weak as everybody thinks he is. That's all I'm saying. But to me, having Jesus Burgess get the Kuma's fruit, the paw palm fruit, will make sense in my opinion, because of basically how it's pretty much based on how Jesus Burgess fight already. He already used Shockwave, he already had the high down elbow, pretty much already used things that Shockwave is. And since the Go-Grow-Me is going to stay with Blackbeard permanently, the only other Shockwave fruit that we know of that deflects airwaves is the Paw Palm fruit. And with Jesus Burgess having gloves, is this even better for him? Because to me it makes sense. Me, it personally would. That Blackbeard would be going to Reverie to pick up Kuma's dead body, to take his fruit and give it to Jesus Burgess. There gotta be some type of gimmick to it. It gotta be some type of way that they're collecting these fruits that's not a part of a devil fruit. It's probably one of the most curious mysteries of One Piece altogether. But it's not one of those things where just I want an immediate answer to at all. Some people say Blackbeard too broken with 3 different fruits, but he's already broken as it is. Number one, he can stop your devil fruit altogether, and then he can just cause a shockwave afterwards and basically destroy nearly an entire island by himself. Blackbeard is already broken, so what's a little bit more broken? It's not going to hurt anybody at all. Because what? It's like, can we truly ever think any other idea of why Blackbeard would be going to Reverie at this point? Because Reverie is already over. Most of the major hitters, especially Celestial Dragons, are rather packed up and left, or all have left altogether. And it's just, after that, it's just like, what's the point? There's nothing else to pick up after. There's no more scraps, there's nothing. Besides from Bartholomew Kuma and his fruit. The Tyrant Man himself. Because there is one person so far that still needs the fruit. And everybody else, like someone Wolf already had the fruit. Vasco shot, Pizarro the Mad King, and I think there's like one other guy. It may be like Dark Q. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Dark Q have a fruit either. Besides from those few other ones that we don't know if they have a fruit or not. And it's only really Jesus Burgess who really needs to step it up a level. He's gonna be Blackbeard's right hand man. Because sure, Blackbeard respects Shiryu, and he likes Shiryu, but it's not like he's Jesus Burgess. Jesus Burgess is the right hand man. Alright. Basically, the good classic friend of Blackbeard. To me, if Blackbeard had anybody, in my personal opinion, that wouldn't betray him, it'd be more than likely Jesus Burgess. Why? The Blackbeard Pirates is an interesting crew. Some people believe, oh, it's bred by fear, it's very loosely strung together. Not really. Because it's not like they ever had any type of true infighting. Besides for that one comment Olivia would say, don't make me kill you, Pizarro the Mad King, for suggesting that you become cat. Besides from that, there's no really any infighting at all. They all kind of really respect Blackbeard. There's no fear or anything like that. And everybody in Pound Down wanted to join the crew. Because if they didn't, they just could have left by themselves after the sale was open. So there's nothing stopping them, because there's like hundreds of other guys who escaped afterwards, after the Blackbeard crew left. So it's not like, oh, you just had to join Blackbeard. Shiryu had been waiting for a man like this. He'd been waiting for a true pirate of the seas. And everything. I bet you I was saying it with the whole Blackbeard grand plan. Blackbeard is not some type of 5-star genius. He's a smart, he's a wise, cracking, sharp individual. But I'm not gonna act like he's a genius. And every time there's an event happening, he has some type of grandiose plan. Because Blackbeard still has a spy, right? That's still a fact in my opinion. And we don't know who that spy is inside Wano. We don't know how Blackbeard is getting his information from inside Wano. I don't know if any other person knows, but as far as I know, no one knows how Blackbeard is getting information. At this point, this late in the game, I doubt Blackbeard has one of his, like a major crew member there. I don't think there's one of the 10 Titanic captains. If it is, there's gonna be somebody we haven't really seen, like Vasco Shot or Doc Q. Even if then, it's not like we'll be doing any like major fighting in my opinion. Because even if they did, it's just, unless Blackbeard is here himself, there'll be no point of that. But Blackbeard can show up last minute. And go back to what I was saying earlier, it took Blackbeard 20 years to come up with that Whitebeard plan. Anybody with some glasses can tell that Whitebeard was on his last legs. Anybody. And plus, I'll be honest, people keep on bringing up that Blackbeard some type of genius. Honestly, if you would have turned in Luffy instead of Ace, there would have been no Marineford in the first place. So what was his plan after that? But no one talks about that. Blackbeard is a 5-star opportunist. Everything that happened at Marineford just so happened to fall into his hands. If Whitebeard was so damaged for Akainu and was actually able to finish the job, then Blackbeard would have probably got killed more than likely. Blackbeard probably should have been over it and everything just been wiped out like this. Now I'm sick of this whole thought that Blackbeard is some type of 5-star genius. He's not. I don't know where you get this consensus of or what type of drugs you're on. But let's see what type of top tier genius feats have you seen this pull off. I'm not saying he's an idiot. I'm not saying he's dumb. But he sure is smarter than Luffy in my opinion. It's not like Luffy's dumb, but it's just like when it comes to planning, Blackbeard is a different specimen indeed. And the way I see Blackbeard in general, it's a lot different from the way I see Luffy. In my opinion, if Doflamingo is the Celestial Dragon D, I do believe that Doflamingo is a D to a certain degree. Maybe I'm a madman. Then, just like the parallel to Luffy, the direct parallel, if Doflamingo was the D that was a traitor, the D that worked with the world government, then Blackbeard is the worst case scenario for a D. Because there was a Gold D Roger, and there was a Rox D Sebek. There's a Blackbeard, and then there's a Luffy. Also, another parallel that goes back to the proof of fact that that one D that was with the world government, just like Doflamingo used to work for the world government, Monkey D. Gart, another D, used to work for the world government. So we already have the good pirate, we already have the world government pirate, and we already have the world government D trader, and we already have the dark D, as in Rock D. Sebek. We got the full creed. You want to talk about Kobe and everybody else parallels? Not really. And as now I think about it, if it did come down to a scenario where Doflamingo, Blackbeard, and Luffy got a team up, that'd be a very interesting dynamic there. Very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. But yeah, but the Blackbeard itself is just, he's not a genius, he's not some type of top tier planet, but he is a 5-star opportunist, alright? Just like with Thatch, he could have just took the devil fruit from Snacks, but I could ask him for the fruit, but I'm gonna kill him instead. But you've been on the crew with this man for 20 years. I've been waiting for too long. It's not enough for 20 years. You've been with Whitebeard for 20 years. I don't think Blackbeard have known Thatch for 20 years. Thatch is like, what, 30s? And sure, Marco is not old either, but I think Thatch is one of those who joined later on. He wasn't like an early crew member like Joju or Marco. And it's now you look at it, why is most of Whitebeard's crew young in the first place? Why you got an entire crew of children? It's not everybody who's children, but they're like 20s, late teens, or 15 like Marco is. And I think at the beginning he was like 12. I could be, yeah, because he was an apprentice. So it's just like, why are they so young for? Where do you get this group of children from? And he just saved an entire crew of orphans and just like Blackbeard just so happened to be one of them? Because Whitebeard is still a part of the old generation. Yeah, he still is. So since there is gonna be like a generational reset, we already have our guard, in my opinion. We already have our the D that works for the world government. We already have the Dark D and Blackbeard, and we already have the supposed good one in Luffy. So as it for the Pirates Alliances and the Rocks and everything else, we'll be able to solve that whenever Golden Shiki shows up. There is no way a character like Golden Shiki get mentioned and have his face show up and the entire plotline goes nowhere. Everybody keep on talking about everybody else. Where is Golden Shiki? I'm sick of these games. He is canon and he didn't mention. He's still alive. Where is he? Who was the one who picked up Kabone Gang Bae's ship? Who? And when would he show up? Because it'd be a high chance at this point he is from Wano. And if he is, then that's where things get interesting. And to see Blackbeard, you're going to see Kaido's kind of a foreign invader to a certain degree. It is quite interesting that Kaido, when he first showed up, look nothing like the way he does now. He didn't start adopting that one-off garb until years later, so it's just I still believe that Kaido's a dragon. Right? There was one group of spoilers that's like, we're gonna learn about the Kaido Devil Fruit. You lying son of a gun, you betrayed me. And because usually most spoilers I read is correct, but in this case it was so far left. And we get to learn that Kaido's Devil Fruit is the rear mummy model or something. It's just like what? Thank God it didn't come true. Thank God for that one. Because I would have been mad for that entire ordeal. That would have been mad. Cause like the thing, I've saved all that for a video I gotta make after this one. Because it's like I get into the whole Kaido thing and the whole thing with the scales and how it's unusual. But when I refer back to Blackbeard to sum up the video, I do believe that Blackbeard is going to Reverie for Akuma. There is nothing else that Blackbeard could possibly want at Reverie. Honestly, unless you want to cause some extreme terror, like I thought he originally would. But then again, what would Blackbeard be going to Reverie for? There gotta be a reason. There gotta be a method. Because it's not really seem like the Blackbeard pirates do much post time skip, really. We heard that he smacked up Marco and the entire, not smacked up. He beat up Marco and the rest of the Whitebeard crew, the rest of the washed up leftovers that got whooped and beating and put in their place. So like, what make Blackbeard a Yonko? He has territory. What make Luffy a Yonko? He absolutely nothing. Besides from that one Fishman Island thing, that's not even confirmed because technically he's still on a Big Mom, and Big Mom basically gave him the territory. Blackbeard had to fight for what he is, man. He had to put in work for the crew and everything. But I had some video. At this point, this is turning to this is an extreme rambling here. To a degree, but again, I'm covering all subjects that's relevant to the topic to a degree. So it's just, yeah. If you look at the Jesus Burgess, we don't know why he's called champion. We don't know how Blackbeard met this man, but all we know is that so far, when it comes to the protection of the fan base, I'm pretty sure like a certain people in one it's not the One Piece world, and the Jesus Burgess is pretty weak, pretty weak. Now it depends how you want to rank Sabo altogether. Oh, he's clapping with an admiral. He's not fighting an old Kiji or Aki. We're not going to treat all admirals the same. But then again, it's not like anybody gives Smoker his due respect, so man, like that matters. And also, to quickly touch on what people saying power levels doesn't matter. All right, that's a stupid argument. Is that the case? I want Buggy to become Pirate King. Since power levels does not matter and it have no relevance to the story, why was Luffy beating Katakuri some type of monumental thing? Why? And why did you believe that Luffy could lose if he could just the power levels doesn't matter in the first place? Why wasn't Chopper fighting Katakuri? Why wasn't that happening? And plus, why wasn't Luffy able to take on Akainu? Why was Ace acting so weak for it? I don't see what made Ace and Akainu different at all. Because of Devil Fruit? Those power levels doesn't matter. What witchcraft is this? It is all about non-power levels. That's all I say about that. That's a stupid argument. That's literally stupid. If you want to say that power levels don't hold that much of importance compared to story, that would also be a foolish thing to say, because if that was the case, then why do we even have one-up poachers in the first place? I'm gonna leave it at that. If power levels doesn't matter, I want Buggy to become Pirate King. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing else. I want to hear one inch anything else about power levels. Buggy should be easily become Pirate King. One shot Big Mom and Kaido. I don't want to hear nothing else. Power levels doesn't matter. Yeah, I do believe that Jesus Burgess need a fruit. That's the last thing, in my opinion. That's the only crew member that we know so far that is like the definitively have been shown not to be strong. Not to be strong enough that Blackbeard will want him on his. He's the only crew member who's not as strong that Blackbeard would want him to be, in my opinion. Cause like Blackbeard one of these top tier guys, and it's fun. there are Yonko commanders, there are Yonko commander tier characters, but it seems like Blackbeard just want the most Yonko commanders than anybody. Just, but again, Whitebeard got 16 division commanders, so I'm not gonna rate them all at the same level. But it's not like most of Blackbeard's crew is cannon fodder because they was all wiped from history. All of them, which is quite strange how you can wipe somebody from history, but yeah, that's pretty much it. This basically been my video about why my personal opinion is Blackbeard is going to Reverie. Because I don't see what other reason he would have to go to Reverie for. There's nothing else inside Reverie, well, inside the Reverie or the Grand Line that he would actually want, in my opinion. Like what is there to get? What is there to obtain? What is there to take opportunity up? And he didn't just select a few people. Blackbeard basically done gathered up his entire crew for this. So it's just, you know, this is like some small time ordeal. This is he's expecting to encounter heavy fight. They are still running with life rafts. I don't see why they still have. I don't see why Blackbeard's pirate ships is made out of a bunch of life rafts. But again, I guess it had sentimental value, I guess. But yeah, people, Shockwave King, this has been my video on Blackbeard. I do believe that Kuma is dead. I do believe that Blackbeard is trying to get his fruit. That's a high tier fruit right there. You see what that thing did to Orange Jr.? You can argue that everybody at Thriller Bark who got hit by it should have died by the Ultra Shock. But what happened to Orange Jr.? Just sum it up is just why you want the fruit in general. In the conversation. Just right there. Ask Orange Jr. how that fruit feels. In the conversation, in my opinion. There's nothing else to argue after you see the Ultra Shock with Orange Jr. But being born Mr. Shockwave King, I hope you enjoyed the video. Those are my opinions about why Blackbeard would be going to Reverie. And big boy Mr. Shockwave King. And Blackbeard must nah, not must, but free Doflamingo though. Free Doflamingo. Big boy Mr. Shockwave King, and I remember, free Doflamingo, he didn't do anything wrong. He's just a young aspiring artist. Free Dofi, man, free Dofi.